Hello and welcome. I'm a Hotel AI expert, and it's my pleasure to welcome all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to your online learning journey. In the fast-paced world of hotel management, let's be real, things don't always go to plan. A cash discrepancy, a data breach, a major inventory error. When that happens, the real test isn't just finding the problem, it's what you do after. Today, we're going to break down a framework that turns those incidents into opportunities. And that, right there, is a crucial skill for any future leader in our industry.
So let's put you in the hot seat for a second. Imagine a control failure has just been found. Maybe an inventory count is way off. Or maybe there's a weak spot in how you're protecting guest data. The big question is always the same. What happens now? How you answer that is going to define your team's trust and your hotel's reputation.
Right. This is where the real work begins. We're moving from just investigating a problem to actually doing something about it. And trust me, how an organization handles this moment says absolutely everything about its culture, the trust within the team, and its ability to handle the next crisis that inevitably comes along.
Okay, let's get practical. There's a simple three-step framework for turning any problem into progress. It's pretty straightforward. First, you report what you found. Second, you implement what we call remediation. You fix the immediate issue. And third, you learn from it to improve your controls for the future. We're going to walk through each of these steps one by one.
So let's start with step one, reporting. And I know what you might be thinking, paperwork, right? But this is so much more than that. A clear, factual report is the foundation for everything else that comes next. Without it, you're just flying blind.
So what makes a report really effective? Well, first off, it has to be clear and factual. No guesswork. It also needs to be timely, because you know as well as I do, in a 24/7 hotel operation, time is critical. A good report summarizes the key findings, but it also assesses the full impact on guests, on staff, on the bottom line. And maybe most importantly, it can't just point out what's wrong. It has to provide clear, actionable steps to fix it.
Now, a report is pretty useless if it just sits in a folder on someone's desktop. It has to be seen by the right people. Sharing it with managers and department heads shows that the issue is being taken seriously. It's really all about creating accountability through transparency, while of course always making sure you're respecting confidentiality where it's needed.
And this right here, this gets to the very heart of the matter. This philosophy is so important. The goal is never, ever to find someone to blame. It's about learning and improving. You see, a blame culture just makes people hide their mistakes. But a learning culture, that makes the entire organization stronger.
Okay, so you've got your solid report in hand. It's time for step 2, taking action. This is that critical moment where the recommendations on the page become reality. Because a report that's just gathering dust on a desk, it changes absolutely nothing.
So what does remediation, fixing the problem, actually look like in a hotel? Well, it could be anything. It might mean rewriting the night audit checklist or rolling out new cybersecurity training for the front desk team. It could even be something as big as upgrading your entire property management system. It's all about correcting that specific weakness you found.
And this is where real leadership comes into play. It's not enough to just assign the fix to someone and walk away. A great manager follows through. They make sure the changes are actually happening and, just as important, that they're working. Without that follow-through, all the hard work of investigating and reporting was basically for nothing.
This brings us to the third and final step. And honestly, this is the one that really pays off in the long run. We fix the problem for today, great, but how do we make sure it never, ever happens again? This is all about building a philosophy of continuous improvement.
You have to completely change how you think about failure. Every single incident, no matter how small, is a gift. It's like a free lesson showing you exactly where you're vulnerable. It's your golden opportunity to strengthen your defenses before a real disaster strikes.
Think of it as a cycle, right? An incident happens. You learn a lesson from it. Then, and this is key, that lesson gets baked into your official policies and procedures. From there, it becomes a core part of staff training. And what's the end result? You've reduced future risk and you've made the whole system smarter and more resilient.
So, let's bring all this back to you and your career path. This framework isn't just some textbook process to memorize. It's a core leadership skill. The ability to calmly and effectively navigate problems is what will set you apart and really accelerate your career in this incredible industry.
This quote really just sums it all up, doesn't it? The best leaders don't just react to problems, they use them. They literally transform a negative event into a catalyst that makes the entire operation better.
That's the real difference between a good hotel and a truly great one.
So in the end, it all comes down to this mindset. It's about viewing failures not as failures, but as data. It's about focusing on fixing the system, not blaming a person. It's about you being the one on your team who is always asking, what can we learn from this? If you can do that, you won't just build a resilient team, you'll build a fantastic career.
So I'll leave you with this question to carry with you. Challenges are going to happen. That is a 100% guarantee. The real failure isn't the incident itself, it's the failure to learn from it. So ask yourself, when that next challenge comes, how will you be the leader who turns it into your hotel's greatest strength?